Hello everybody, this is Chaff Commander Coffee back with another episode of Dominions 4, Thrones of Ascension, RandomNationGen. We are playing as Salt No Ham, and it is winter in the first year of the Ascension Wars. Yeah, I noticed the fall video, that was lower quality as well. I finally found the issue. It was set to a scale resolution that was lower than my monitor. Don't know why it changed that, but it's definitely fixed now. Definitely fixed. So you should start getting the higher quality videos from now on, for sure. I hope. Anyway, shall we? There was a battle in Uzajazran. This was Solve attacking the Atlantians, trying to finish off their prophet and the rest of their army. Now, I think my dragon is too far away for their prophet to actually try and smite him. So my dragon should just be free to... they have a few wizards. They even gave him some gems. Well, I suppose at this stage of the game, if you're being destroyed this quickly by a dragon, you don't really have a choice. But flying shards is not really an effective spell against a dragon. And these wolf tribe are not going to last more than a few moments. Let's just put the speed up. This should be an easy battle. The only thing I'm worried about is the smites, but we have very high magic resistance on my pretender, so that shouldn't be a problem as well. Yeah, no problem at all. Still weakened, but again, that's not an issue. So we managed to kill everything there. We killed both their hero, who he was a fairly decent mage. Heroes are free; they appear randomly, so it's quite good we got rid of him. He might have been an issue. Poison darts. I mean, the paralyzing poison is kind of scary. If he had have hit us with that instead of casting all those flying shards, he might have actually done something. And a magic stone dagger, which, well, he might have been able to hurt our god with that. But we killed him. And we killed their prophet. No problem. And there was a battle in Duvan. This was one of my commanders continuing his expansion. Against heavy cavalry this time, or cataphracts. I'm hoping that... Yes, well, we got one. Yes, and the heavy cavalry rout, once they take a few casualties. It was a small group of them. To explain one thing about the routing and why I was safe attacking this province, if a regiment falls below 5 men, every time one of them takes a hit, they have to make a morale check. So, whereas normally with a regiment of, say, 50 men, they don't start making morale checks until at least half the regiment has been killed. So when there's 25 of them left, when one of them dies, they must make a morale check. I believe that's how it works. If there's a real pro of Dominions watching this game who can correct me, that would be great, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Anyway, a successful victory. We only lost one Shadow Sentinel. Got some more land. Excellent. And our scout noticed a battle in the Desert of the Cliff Dwellers. This was over the river. This is where I was thinking about building a fort. But it appears Farwold has gotten there first, so we get a chance to take a look at Farwold. Their prophet is here. Offer the prophet. He's undead. He doesn't look very undead, but he is in fact undead. Interesting. Heroic battle prowess. He's quite strong, actually. To be fair, he is a fairly strong character. Not strong enough to kill a dragon, of course, but he is certainly a match for any goblin, for sure. And they have Egfrith, the Unwavering Reborn. He is a Death Earth Mage. 2 death, that's kind of scary. Many skeletons can be created with Death 2. Many skeletons. Oh my god, so many skeletons. Anyway, these independents don't stand a chance. It appears that Farwald likes to field infantry with medium and heavy armor. Plate hauberk and a half helmet as well as a halberd. These men are very solid infantry. For humans, they're quite... I mean, I'm surprised to see infantry this well armed in the early ages, but this is RandomNationGen, so I suppose they could spawn with anything. Yeah, it's tower shields and full chainmail. My archers are going to be very ineffective against these swordsmen with shields, and they do seem to have quite a lot of them. Yeah, they do have a lot of those Falchion warriors with tower shields. Or oh, they have a variant with normal shields, which isn't quite so much, but they have strong armor, so my archers would be very weak against them, unless I give my archers flaming arrows. Anyway, there's a few things that must be done during this winter that have to be done because I've put them off for too long. Our Commander Ergen, I'm going to start the turn immediately with our Commander Ergen building a fortress. That will take 5 turns, so that will finish in spring of the 2nd year. Which is... it's not bad. It's not bad. I could have built a palisade earlier, but as I said, this is a very strategic location. I should build a fortress to make sure that its defense value allows it to withhold a siege for a few turns. We should... let's take a look at our expansion forces. So the dragon did just fine. I am worried about this nation down here, but they have independence to fight, so I feel like they would prefer to attack independence. And if their prophet is inside of this army, then he wouldn't want to move into evil Dominion anyway, so that would reduce his hit points significantly. Now my dragon can fly. Solve can fly, obviously, being a dragon, so he could actually take this province here if I wanted him to. Now, I'm going to move my scout north. I feel, since I know that Farwald has indeed taken this choke point, I should move north to find out where their capital is. That would be a good idea. It doesn't appear as if the Atlanteans are building up much of a defense force. So I feel Solve plus this small army led by Eleophis might be enough to start the siege, and then be reinforced by my goblins moving north. It will take 2 turns for them to reach Mexico, because they'll be able to reach Ablak and then Mexico. Once we own the province, if we win this fight and take control of the outside province, we can. I believe I can move into it, since I control it, using my full map movement. Instead of moving one, normally you have to be next to a enemy's province to move into it. But if we control the province, that shouldn't stop us. Alright, let's just fill up our prophet's army with the rest of these new soldiers. I'm going to give the Sacreds their own squad. This is quite a small unit, these Colossi Spearmen and these Swordsmen, but I may give the Colossi the War Elephant as well, because the Colossi have high hit points, and so does the Elephant, so the entire squad will have very high hit points overall. So I think I'll do that. And then maybe give it just three Goblin Swordsmen just to bulk the regiment out. This regiment I would want on the flanks to attack closest, so the Elephant can start smashing through their infantry lines. This unit of spearmen with shields and swordsmen, and have them a line in the front, set to hold and attack closest to draw arrow fire. My 47 Goblin Archers here, I'm going to set them in skirmish, so if they do end up drawing the enemy arrow fire, they don't take too much damage. And I think I'll put my Sacreds in front of the archers in case enemy cavalry decide to target my archers. And my Sacreds should be able to do a fair job against them. I'm going to move my spearmen a little further forward. I think as goblins we can afford to be quite close to the enemy since my ranged units are quite short range. I think I want to change my prophet from casting Smite to set him to casting Stone of Courage a few times. I'm starting to get to the point where smiting for kills is very useful, but in the larger battles the morale is going to make more of a difference than a single kill. I mean, a single kill can make all the difference as well, but Stone of Courage is more reliable in that respect. Have my Sacred set to hold an attack closest as well. I'll set them to hold an attack because the elephant has good movement, so it can... I may need to move the elephant group a little bit back because it has such good movement, so that it doesn't engage them too early. I'm going to bring my Swordmaster forward. They can go in the same square. They're goblins, they're small. And then these men are going to move north. Oh, they can get all the way to Brightgate? Well, this is something I definitely overlooked and really shouldn't have, and it's the fact that my entire army has map movement 3 with forest survival. Wow, we are very, very mobile. We can deal with having a very large kingdom. So, well, that makes me feel a lot less insecure about having such a wide expansion, because my men can move such a ridiculous distance. Yes, we'll go all the way to Brightgate then. In fact, because of that, I may just wait until the next turn to actually invade Mexico. But to deter, if they decide to opportunistically attack Baladin, I can move my dragon there, and him combined with the barbarians should be more than enough for any counterattack. I am going to set him to attack closest, or attack, maybe attack rearmost. He can fly after all. However, since we have the barbarians, if he does get into a fight, I'll have him on hold for just 3 turns. So the barbarians can get stuck in, and then he can come in. I'll put him... He will be behind the barbarians. They'll spawn somewhere in the middle here. Province defense barbarians. Is that? Yeah, that's fine. They still have very few units. I mean, their men are quite expensive, and they have no Dominion... or very little Dominion. I could just Dominion kill them. I mean, I do have a Dominion strength of 10. If I built a temple over here, this would be pretty much an easy Dominion kill. It would save me having to actually try and capture the fortress. Well, that's something to consider next turn, I think. Any mercenaries? There are some Icatids. I may have to forego recruiting... Is 169 gold enough to win the Icatids, though? It's a good question. Alright, I have 3... Oh, the 3 spearmen routed. Oh, they must have taken a random arrow and routed. So I have no arrow captures now. But these are such easy conquests, I should definitely try and make use of them. So we'll take a single Sacred Goblin and set him to Guard Commander. And these men will be set to attack closest. Alright. So, Narek, who's now heroic with lightning reflexes. I'm getting a lot of heroes fighting a lot of battles. He should move to Ophaleth and take that from those fairly weak independents. There's only 20 of them. And most of them will be militias, so no worries. Uzajazran, I'm going to put just 1 province defense. It's not bordering any nations, so it's not under threat from attack. I don't really want to be training Sacreds or anything if I want these Icatid warriors. Now these can go underwater, so... Now the Amber Clan's very dangerous, so I don't think they could... They might be able to beat them. Icatid warriors are actually fairly well armed. But I can't remember if he comes with Icotid warriors or just normal Icotids. Or Ichthyids. Ichthyids. I'm gonna mispronounce everything, so apologies. The underwater provinces look fairly well defended. Like Amber Clan is quite dangerous. Sea Trolls are quite dangerous. This throne is going to be impossible for, you know, mercenaries to take. This throne is guarded by Amber Clan as well, so that's difficult. They could just help in the siege, but then I could just. Oh, he's only got 2. I could hire Gwifrey's swordsman, perhaps, to help with the siege next turn. Alright, I'm going to... should I start recruiting just Lion Tribe? I don't really want to do that. I could do with... What could I do with another commander? I have no men in the garrison, so no. Alright, we're going to train a wizard. Maybe an acolyte. I don't think I have the gold right now to start running around building temples, and with my Dominion being quite powerful, it will naturally spread quite quickly. Anyway, like we already have quite a strong candle base over here in the center of our realm, so I'm not particularly worried, and it doesn't look like there's anyone in the underground yet to start pushing it back here, so that's good. I think I'm going to train just a basic wizard and some more sacred units. We can only train 8 of them, but it's preferable to train the Sacred Goblins over anyone else. As I said, they will gain power as we take Thrones of Ascension. We haven't taken any yet. Unfortunately, the closest one to us is very, very well defended. But this one over here is only guarded by, well, standard independents. There's just quite a lot of them, but even then, my dragon could probably kill these. It's just I'm expecting them to also have a wizard with them, and that wizard will cast some sort of awful spell that will make the fight so much harder. I'll have to send a scout there. In fact, can I train a scout in any of these provinces? Doesn't look like I can. I think my only province that can build scouts right now is Valgard, which is very, very annoying, but I think because of that, I'd have to stop recruiting 2 sacreds. I'd rather have the sacreds. I have decent, I mean, I don't really need to know what's here. I'm not planning on expanding here very soon, and I have my... I'm going to leave him here so I know who takes this throne at some point. It'll be useful information to know who takes it. And I know who's going to take this one since it's next to my land. Oh, I totally forgot there's a throne here as well. But it does have dark candles, which is probably from this nation. I reckon that their capital is probably here. It might even be here, which would be brilliant because it's actually an entrance into the underground, and I would like a fortress there. Anyway, so if they spawned here, that would be good. If they spawned here, that would still be good. But I would probably just turn it. If they spawned here and I take this, I would pretty much own this section of land here. And then I would probably turn it into a mage cave, just build lots of wizards there, and they can just sit there doing research. Or blood hunting or something like that. In fact, I need to start thinking about where I'm going to place my blood hunters. Now, I have no decent 7,000 population is like the sweet number for blood hunting. The higher the better. You can blood hunt over 5,000, and it's not terrible. But yeah, Brightgate is 12,000 population. This would be a brilliant province to start blood hunting, and the capital province of the Atlantians will also have 30,000 population, just like my capital. They do have the same growth scales, in fact, so they will have the same population as me. So that will also be very, very good to blood hunt inside of. Other than that, nothing stands out. Oh, Duvan, population 9,000. Ah, this isn't a bad spot for a research lab, really. And it can train heavy cavalry, not the fully plate armored cavalry, just the sort of cataphract style cavalry. But they're still pretty good. I lack cavalry right now, and they would be a nice addition. So we may end up having to make use of that. Oh, I missed putting province defense in a few places. Sorry, this turn's taken quite a long time just because I'm reacquainting myself with the previous turn. But that should do it. That should do it. There was a battle in Ophirleth. Just a few independents. Same strategy, just arrow catching. We should be fine. Oh dear. They managed to hit my my arrow catcher, which means the archers have retargeted onto my main force. Which is not good. However, there is only 4 archers, so we have managed to rout them already. Yes, their armies. Their army is on the run. Let's put the speed up. And they're gone. So we did lose 1 sacred. That's fine. An unexpected event has occurred in Menace. New trade routes have opened. That's quite good. Permanent +10 income. An unexpected event has occurred in Saltnoham. Silver deposits have been found and a new mine is being built. A magic site has been found. A silver mine. 40 gold per turn and it enables the recruitment of scout. Do I get a new kind of scout? Huh? Wait, what? I can recruit scouts as units, not commanders? How does that work? 25 gold. So they cost the same as an actual scout, I think. Let me just take a look. Yeah, they cost the same as a scout and have the same stats. So what purpose do they serve? They're even slow to recruit. I don't know if that's a bug, and it's because it's an event. Like, say that event appeared in this province here, EL, which it's not my capital, and it can't produce scouts. If that happened here, then EL would get scouts as a commander, but because I have scouts as commanders already, it's put them in my unit roster. And yes, I mean, if this is if this is a summod thing or a magic enhanced thing that I'm unaware of, and these scouts act as like counter spies, so like they'll catch scouts that are like on the province that they're in the army of, maybe. Alright. Well, I won't train any right now. It does seem like a waste of gold, but I might have to experiment. Right, so our entire force has moved to Brightgate, and it's quite beefy. It's quite beefy. I do want to reorder it though, because we can put these units. What I'm going to do actually is check the war elephants. So none of them have any afflictions, which is good, because these are important units. I would like to make sure none of them have afflictions. I believe the Colossi warriors are just trained, so they shouldn't have any afflictions. They are also, I mean, they're much stronger than the goblins. I like to make sure they're fighting at full efficiency in our first engagement. I'm going to give this commander, you can only lead 40 men. How many archers do I have? 75 archers. That's quite a decent number of archers. Alright, this should be a fine battle. In fact, I might line the archers up, just to conserve space on the battlefield. I mean, in a siege, I'll skirmish them out, but on the battlefield, I might just... I haven't seen the Atlanteans field a ranged units yet, so I might get lucky in that regard. I'm going to give this commander all the war elephants, our prophet. Yeah, let's give the prophet all the war elephants, and mix these sacreds in with this regiment. Actually, let's take these ones out. Let's put all the sacred units together. They're probably going to go through the gate after the elephants. So the Colossi and the elephants will go through the gate first to trample through all the men, and the goblins will filter in behind them. Hopefully the elephants will die before they rout, because if they rout they will crush everyone behind them, and that will suck. But we don't really have another choice. So we can get all the spearmen into one group, and then I could add the swordsmen into the elephant regiment. Might help them from routing. They might die before they rout in that case. But on the battlefield, I want this regiment on the flank set to hold and attack closest. I want these spearmen set in a line formation up front on hold and attack closest. Alright, put them slightly, yeah, that should do it. And the sacred units, put them back a little. And I will put them up on this flank. And keep my swordmaster and my goblin. In fact, I can put the human commander there. They should all be able to fit in the same square. So maybe then the human commander being larger, he's more likely to get killed. So, and he's not a hero. These are hero goblins. These goblins won't die. This is my heroically strong goblin who has 14 strength, which is very, very strong. He's stronger than a barbarian chief. I'm impressed. Very, very impressed. I know, but I'm using a barbarian chief. That's because they're stronger than humans. They're like Conan. Right. Alright. I think we're going to begin the siege. No point wasting time. It appears Farwald may have moved across the river during the winter. Now their dominion may have closed it again due to heat scales or some such. So Farwald seems to have cut their army off, which means they might be trying to expand into Shambhalak. I'm going to move to Nashen. That should give me a decent radius for sight vision. In fact, this scout who's now waiting here, I'm going to start moving him north. Actually, I'm going to move him south to start spying on the Lunawatians. In fact, I want to train another scout to do that as well. There's another team. Syriarish? Abyssian Slave Cavaliers. Light Human Mason Infantries. They have Abyssian units. That means they're going to be... my fire magic won't work very well against them. Abyssians are very, very fire resistant. So I'll need to be wary of that. And because of this, I'm going to boost Province Fencing off the left since we're next to them to 10. I'm going to boost Duvan to 15. I'm going to boost Duvan to 15. A, because it has heavy cavalry in its garrison. And B, because it is a good province to blood hunt, so I may have to send a blood hunter there fairly soon to start pushing my my blood income up. But that would mean recruiting some of these Sun Pontifexes, which are very useful. Their ability of flying. They're a priest as well. They're very, very good. So I should start recruiting them, and I think I have enough of these level 1 mages that I'm going to start needing some level 2 ones to do some crafting. I can start using these fire gems to create jars of fire, and then I can give them the jars of fire to these Sun Pontifexes, and they can at least throw fireballs in combat. Or one fireball. One fireball is better than no fireballs. And when they get stronger, or if they blood Sabbath, then they can use that fire gem to cast falling fires, or maybe even flaming arrows or something like that. So yes, it has multiple uses, so I should start getting crafting them, even without dwarven hammers, because getting these wizards to craft dwarven hammers means boosting their earth magic, and that will take some time, and I need to sort their age out by getting Boots of Youth first. So anyways, they are holy, so I can't train quite as many sacreds, but I mean, I can still train 9 of them, so there's no problem there. Do I want Narek to continue expanding? 30 barbarians. Now, these are unblessed sacreds, and I don't know if they can handle barbarians. If I got the first hit on the barbarians, I think I would win. But that means I can't remember where I need to place my men to be able to get the first hit on the barbarians. So I need to find a province with barbarians. Here we go. Movement 12. And the barbarians, I think it depends where they... Movement 10. Yeah, movement 10. I can't remember. Do I just leave them where they are? Or do I go one forward or one back? I think I leave my men where they are. No, I'm gonna put them one back. Hopefully that works. If it doesn't, we might just lose 30 sacred goblins, but they're still just goblins. So I'm not really that sad at the end of the day. I would like... do I want... See, these mounted commanders without armor have 60 leadership, which is much better, so I actually will start recruiting them from this province. They are preferable to the mounted commanders that I could get here, where they cost 25 resources, and yeah, it means it takes lots of turns to train one from there. Whereas these mounted commanders, yeah, still got 60 leadership. I mean, their armor is weak, but they're there to carry 60 goblins. It's a job. Their job isn't to fight, it's just lead goblins. Which we shall do. We shall send them to do that. Let us train some more goblins on that note. We have a lot of archers right now, so I think I need to bulk my... I feel I'm lacking on spearmen. But I may recruit, now that I have quite a decent resource surplus, I may recruit some of these small bow spearmen just so that they can fire... Their attack skills and that aren't as strong as the elite skirmishers here. And they don't have wasteland survival, which may come in handy. Especially if we plan on expanding into this province here, which is a wasteland. That will come in handy. But for right now, where we want to just secure our starting continent, or province, if you would, I consider this a province, blocked off by this mountain range over here. Once we've taken that, I think these units, these spearmen with bows, might just give us the edge with that extra ranged attack. So I'll grab some of them. Good. All right. I believe that should be everything. Yeah, overall, quite a good turn. Alright. Well, what I'm going to do, actually, since I did take quite a while to reacquaint myself, I'm going to end the episode here. I'm going to start the next episode with... And I'll disjoint it a little bit, but the main focus of the next few episodes is going to be our early sieges of Mexico and the Atlanteans. See if we can just quickly wipe them out, maybe grab ourselves an extra castle early on in the game. It would be very, very good. Very, very good. So we'll see how that goes. But I will end the episode here. I do know it has been a bit longer for just 2 turns, so... But I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.